Excuse me, do you mind if you just drop me off here?
Whatever, you okay here?
Yeah. Just drop me off anywhere. Thank you.
Everything is okay?
Everything is fine. However, just in future, what you said to me was quite offensive about how you were trying to guess where I'm from because you think we all look the same. And then you said, oh, I couldn't tell like where you were from, because you look a little bit different.
Alright guys, so I'm not sure if you are familiar with this story fully because I know some of you guys do not have TikTok. So this is a TikTok creator by the name of, I don't even know. it's up here somewhere. Anyway, she is a food content creator and she was taking an Uber, and while she was in the Uber ride, the Uber driver, who was an immigrant, somebody who did not speak English as a first language, was, having small talk conversation with her and was mentioning to her, I guess trying to relate to her, that his girlfriend is from Vietnam and he was trying to find out where she was from. And he made the comment about like, sometimes it's hard to tell the difference or to know like where a person who's East Asian, where they're from. And so he was trying to like joke around with her about that. And she took offense and did not like that. So here's my thing about this whole situation. First of all, she's getting completely dragged on TikTok like nonstop. There are so many videos of people responding, including a lot of East Asians responding to her reaction, and what they're feeling is an overreaction on her part.
But as an Asian person myself and as an immigrant as well here in the United States, I felt the need to talk about this because I've experienced what she experienced on that Uber ride. The only difference is that I am not dumb and I use my logic and my brain. Because if you're a sane person, not everything should be offensive to you. Not everything should hurt your feelings. That's not reality. You're living on a clown world. But when I tell you the amount of time people mistaken my ethnicity for some other kind of Asian, if I get $1 for every single time, I'd be a millionaire at this point. And that's coming from, non-Asians and even Asians alike, that, getting me mixed up with some other type of Asian. I just hate this whole like woke mentality that everything is racist, everything is offensive, everything is like hurtful. It's like this whole woke movement is supposed to be, for us to be more inclusive and to bring us together, but in reality, it's really destroying us from the inside out. It's making us weaker, and it's really such a backward kind of way of life and thinking. And this girl clearly, she had to whip out her phone and bully this poor, foreign cab driver who obviously isn't fluent in English and couldn't really express what he was trying to say.
I used to live in USA as a minority, and on the streets, usually it's black people will say konnichiwa to me. Never once did I think it's racist, because I felt that the attitude was more in jest. And yeah, sure, they were making fun of me and there was some racial undertones, but I wouldn't label it as a malicious as racism. Also, people always ask me where I'm from. I just thought it was their curiosity. But however, woke culture has happened and the world is a different place now. In woke culture, there's this term called microaggression, where even if you are slightly offended by ignorant question, then you need to show people their place. And in woke culture, the minorities hold all the powerful cards, especially the R word, racism, is like the ace of spades. So she was very excited to have the ace of spades in her hand, wanted to use it on the driver, but unfortunately the TikTok casino was playing a different game. I don't know why. Maybe she should have gotten better traction on Twitter, but perhaps it was because the driver was not British or white. He had a very clear foreign accent.
So as you saw from those clips, people made some really great commentary reactions based on their own experiences as Asian people about what they feel. Now, I obviously cannot speak as an Asian person because I'm not Asian, I am Hispanic. But I am, a non-white person, so I understand what it can feel like sometimes to be stereotyped by ignorant people. Like I've been told many times online, oh, you're Mexican, or assuming that I'm Mexican just because I'm a Latin person, as if all Hispanics are Mexican. And I will say, actually I'm not Mexican, and I will educate them on different ethnicities within the Hispanic or Latin culture. But I think the reason why she's getting the backlash that she's getting, and I think rightfully so, is because number one, she filmed it. Why are you filming it? Why are you like, if you're going through such a traumatic moment, according to you, who in their right mind has the wherewithal to say, oh, let me make sure I get my phone out and film myself and have a good angle as I'm going through trauma? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. And this is the problem with the whole Gen Z, TikTok world that we live in today, where everybody wants to go viral. Everyone wants to have a moment. And nobody is experiencing life authentically or organically anymore because everything is through the lens of their phone. And it just takes away from any authenticity, in my opinion. If you truly were having a traumatic moment that you felt was so horrible, I don't think you would have the thought to make sure you press record on your phone and recorded yourself and had a perfect angle. Like, her angle never left her face, if you notice, right? Like, it wasn't on the window, it wasn't on the back of the car, it was directly on her face. And when she got out of the car, it was directly on her face as she cued herself to cry.
I'm actually fucking raging.
The second issue is the fact that this man clearly did not speak English as a first language. That's number one. Number two, when she corrected him and told him, you said A, B, and C, and that offended me, and that was not okay, he immediately apologized, immediately was remorseful, immediately asked for her forgiveness, immediately tries to explain to her that he didn't speak English as a first language, and so there was a barrier there.
My English is not as a perfect.
Yeah.
My girlfriend is Chinese, and then I love the Asian people because they're so polite, so kind. They're so kind.
So there's a
Please don't
difference.
get me wrong.
No. There's a difference between you loving Asian people, and there's a difference between you saying that we all look the same.
Please forgive me. I really don't mean it about that. But
Okay.
if something is wrong, this company will fire me. And I have a daughter. I swear to God, I don't mean this.
Yeah.
Please forgive me.
And I felt like she was so dismissive of him in that moment. And I felt so bad for him because you could tell that he did not mean to offend. And yes, intention does matter. See, the major problem with what happened here, or how it, I guess, transpired, is she had the chance to make it a teachable moment for this man, right? Like, clearly he did not mean to offend her. Clearly he said something that would be offensive to many East Asians, and it's totally understandable because, again, as a Hispanic, I can totally understand the frustration when people assume that you are one ethnicity, because there are people who fail to realize that there are different ethnicities and different nationalities, within the umbrella of Latin, So I get it. I understand. But would I react the same way that she reacted if I was in an Uber driver's car and he assumed that I was Mexican, or he asked me, "What are you? Because you all look alike"? I probably would have laughed it off. Honestly, that's just my personality. I don't take offense that quickly. I really don't. Especially if I can sense that the person that I'm talking to is kind of clueless. This is probably an older man. He doesn't speak English as a first language. He's trying to relate to me. So I would have laughed it off and been like, "No, I'm not Mexican," and I would have explained exactly where I come from, who I am, and it would not have made or broke my day because I just don't let little things like that bother me. Now, it bothered her, and I respect that. But when somebody is telling you, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry," and they have sincerity in their approach, and yet you still leave the Uber driver and you still make a theatrical performance about it, it just makes you look like you're looking for a moment. You're looking for attention. And it's really pathetic. It's really pathetic because there are real issues in the world. And the fact that she couldn't give him grace in that moment and say, "You know what, sir? I totally get it. It did offend me. It did bother me. Let me tell you why it bothered me. And let me tell you why in the future, it's probably not a good idea to say that because it can be very offensive to other Asian people. And I know you meant to compliment me and you meant it as a conversation starter, but it actually had the opposite effect and it didn't make me feel good." And I'm sure he would say, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." And you know what? He would remember that exchange. And it would be in his mind. So the next person that came into his car that happened to be East Asian, I guarantee you he wouldn't say the same thing ever again. Because he would remember the woman that he spoke to who was so nice to him, who had the wherewithal to explain to him why saying that was an issue. Versus the crazy girl who overreacted, yelled at me, got upset, and then ran out of the Uber before I had a chance to actually take her to her destination because she was so upset with me and accused me of being a racist. You have two different ways that you can go about this, and I felt like she took the worst road possible. And then had the nerve to post it on TikTok, expecting to get sympathy, expecting to have people back her, expecting to get support. And instead, the exact opposite happened. And which is why she has since deleted the video. She made a statement on her TikTok stories where she's apologizing for the incident. She felt like she didn't do anything wrong at the moment, but now she sees the error of her ways and she's reflecting. But the point is that you took the time to post it on TikTok and to try and embarrass this person when clearly his intentions were not to harm. But your intentions in posting it on TikTok was to harm. I don't know if she's Gen Z, but I'm getting Gen Z vibes. And yeah, this is just narcissism 101. This is, look at me, I'm having a moment. And thankfully, she is not getting any type of support online. I haven't seen anybody that's like, you know what, I agree with her. No, I haven't seen it. I've seen everybody post and say she was in the wrong. And the majority of the people that are responding are other fellow East Asians.
Okay, so I'm usually a problematic queen because I don't like to speak on but like, first of all, this boiled my blood. Okay, why did it boil my blood? Because like, why are people in my generation just so sensitive? Like, how the are we supposed to live our lives? Like, people die every single second of the day, and you're gonna worry about this guy asking what kind of Asian you are. If I had $1 for every Asian,
Think before you post, people. Just think before you post and stop being so quick to be offended by everything. Let me know in the comments down below what you think about this topic. Do you think she overreacted or do you think she was in the right? I would love to hear your opinions and your thoughts on this, I guess, controversy. If you enjoy my content, please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit my notification bell so you know when I post a new video. Until next time, peace.